Yo, what is up everybody? Shri Kanase here and welcome back to the best Shopify YouTube channel out there. In this video, I'm going to be revealing my exact 6-figure Shopify dropshipping strategy which helped me get to the stage I'm at today. I'm going to be basically driving you through the entire process from start to finish, which I personally used to not only choose a specific type of Shopify store such as general, niche, etc., but also take that Shopify store to the 6-figure level within 2 months. And there are going to be a lot of value bombs dropped in this video, so stick till the end. But without wasting any more time, let's just jump right into the content and show you exactly the 6-figure strategy which you can yourself implement. So the first step when it comes to implementing this 6-figure strategy is going to be involved around a specific niche, because this Shopify store which I actually started was in a specific niche, and right now in 2019 I personally believe that it is the best way to go. So this is the first step in the 6-figure strategy, and it is finding the niche. One specific thing when it comes to finding a specific niche is that a lot of people get scared when they see a lot of people in a specific niche. For example, the outdoors niche. There are tons and tons of Shopify stores in the outdoor niche, and for a beginner, that would be a little bit overwhelming, but you have to understand competition is actually good. If there is no competition in a specific niche, that means there is no buying audience in that niche. Always remember this, competition is good because that means people are selling things in that niche. So when implementing the first step of this strategy, which is finding the niche, you have to ask yourself one question, and that is, are there any other stores in the same niche as me? And if the answer is no, then you may have a problem. This one single question was the specific question which allowed me to get into a specific niche which was not only dominant but had a lot of audience size, and because of that I was able to achieve success so quickly. So if there is no audience size, that means you're not going to be able to scale that specific niche store, and that also means that you're not going to be able to find as much success. But along with asking yourself this specific question, you need to also do a little bit extra digging. And the second thing that you have to research is, are there abundant amount of products available for that niche? If there are only 1 or 2 products available on Aliexpress and you did the best you can with research, but you're just unable to find anything else, that is another big red flag. Having an abundant amount of products to choose from really makes things easy, especially when you dive into a niche store, because that means you can test product one after the other and not mess up the pixel data for your Facebook advertisements, just because all of these products are very similar to each other. And that is the benefit of going straight into a niche store. I know a lot of YouTubers out there suggest just going straight into a general store, or some even say that you should open directly a one product store. But in my own personal experience, what I found is a niche store is the best long-term investment that you can make, because once you find a winning product in a niche store, you can easily start branding your Shopify store around that niche and create something sustainable that can make you income for a lifetime. And after failing several times with general stores and one product stores, I finally found the success I needed with a niche store, and I truly believe that is the way to go for a long-term business. And another step in taking one positive step towards your goals of achieving success is to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. That is just part of the process. But going back to the video, the next step you have to look into when implementing this 6-figure strategy is to look around in that specific niche and see if you can find any sub niches. So exactly what do I mean by sub niches? Let's say for example you're trying to get into the home and garden niche. A sub niche would be the home decor niche, or the garden niche, or the kitchen gadgets niche. So as you can see, these are all subdivided one level after the other below the main niche, which is home and garden. Another good example of a specific niche and sub niches is the fishing niche. The main niche at the top would be fishing, meaning your entire Shopify store would be around the fishing niche, but it would have sub niches, meaning fishing poles, fishing lures. You can call these categories. But having these different sub niches within one general niche really broadens your overall targeting of the audience, and this also lets you test around with more products and find more potential winning products. But this is the first step that usually comes in the 6-figure strategy, and the next step is going to be actually niche research. So the thing about this six-figure strategy, which I personally use to find success, is it requires a little bit of more work before you even launch a Shopify store. And the main reason behind that is we want to really build something that can get us some type of income. A lot of people spend a lot of hours launching those general stores or one product stores to only find out that the product they're trying to sell does not sell. There is no real audience interest for that specific product, and this just leads to a lot of time wasted and a lot of energy and money as well wasted. So with this strategy, which I'm teaching you guys right now, you're taking out a lot of the guesswork and making sure that you do a lot of the work beforehand before even going into the project. So when it comes to niche research, what exactly should you be looking out for? There are a lot of questions that you should be asking yourself when doing research for this specific niche. And this applies after you've chosen a specific niche. But the first question that you should definitely be asking yourself is, what kind of words do people use in this niche? If you watched my last video on the case study of a failed Shopify store where my fishing store was a big failure, I actually used a lot of words which related to the fishers, such as the word angler. This is a special term used by fishers, and using these words really allowed me and my store to connect really well with the audience. So this is the first question that you should be asking yourself, which is, what kind of words do people in this niche use? The second question is, what age group are the people in this niche? Am I dealing with the younger audience, 18 to 24, or am I dealing with the older audience, 45 to 65 plus? And such research really can make or break how well your Shopify store does, because this determines who you're going to be advertising to, what kind of words you're going to be filling your Shopify store up with, what kind of color scheme you're going to be using, etc. So this is really the most important part of this entire strategy. Third and most important question is, do people in this niche have buying power? One big example of a niche where there's very little to no buying power is the video game niche, because a lot of people who play video games are often younger, even before 18 years of age. And because of this, these kids usually do not have the buying power that they need to purchase the product. They would have to ask their parents for the money, and a lot of the times the answer would be no. So you want to keep your buying audience in mind and determine whether the people you want to target even have the money to purchase what you're going to sell them. After you've figured those things out, the fourth question you have to ask yourself is this niche that I'm trying to get into scalable? Does it have the audience size that I need to take it to the next level? And a good audience size is not 500,000 people or 1 million people. It is often 50 million, 100 million, or even more sometimes. And the main reason behind this is that we want to keep on targeting these audiences over and over again with our products. So we want to make sure that there is enough audience size to do that. Otherwise, you're going to saturate your audience base really quickly, and once it gets saturated, your sales are gonna drop tremendously. So make sure that the niche you're trying to get into is scalable. The best way to do that is just look at the competition. Again, this goes back to the first step. Is there competition and are they doing well? Another strategy that you can use to find out whether it is scalable or not is try to search up Facebook pages around that niche. So for example, if you're in the fishing niche and if you just type in fishing magazines or fishing on Facebook, you're going to find a lot of pages on Facebook for that niche. And that just tells you that there's a lot of audience in that niche and it can be scaled. But once you've done your due diligence of researching that niche and everything looks okay and good to go, you want to proceed on to website creation. Website creation is another big part of this strategy if you really want to find success in the 6-figure and 7-figure level, because this website has to revolve around that niche. Remember all of those keywords that we researched, all of the age ranges that we researched before, what kind of colors they liked, what kind of activities they do, etc. That is all going to be applied in the website creation process. You basically want to use all of the information you gathered above to create the website relating to the specific audience. So all of the words, all of the color scheme, the overall layout should match the specific audience. If it is a younger audience, it should be something that matches that audience. And doing this sort of matching is really gonna boost your conversion rate into the 3%, 4%, 5% levels, because your website directly relates to the people that are coming onto your website. And there's no better way to sell a lot of things than to directly have that website match the interest of the people. And when I'm implementing this strategy myself, I usually spend 4 to 5 days up to a week setting up the website, making sure everything is good to go, because I personally know that having a good solid foundation, which is your website, is really going to help you when it comes to getting those sales and that trust from your customer. But once you've created all of your website and you're just ready to have those sales coming in, then it is time to go into the advertising platform. Now here is where a lot of people mess up. Since every single guru on Shopify out there suggests that you go into Facebook ads, most often that is what people do. They completely ignore all of the advertising platforms out there and solely put their focus on just Facebook ads. That is one of the biggest mistakes you can do when it comes to Shopify. And in 2019, you cannot be making such a mistake. There is too much saturation on Facebook, and this is just leading to a lot of money wasted testing product after product and try to compete with every single person on Facebook. So instead of just blindly going into Facebook ads, you need to ask yourself one question. And if you did research really well before in the second step, this should be an easy answer. The question is, where do most of the people in your niche hang out? Do these people mostly hang out on Instagram, or do they hang out on Pinterest or Facebook or Reddit? You really have to research and find exactly where 95% of the people in your audience hang out and go according to that stat. So let's say you found out after your research that your audience is fully women mostly, and these people hang out mostly on Pinterest because that is where your niche gets talked about the most. You see how it would be a big issue going directly to Facebook ads when your audience, 95% of them at least, is on Pinterest? This is where you have to make that decision. And again, if you did the research, this should be very easy. This is the biggest part of the six-figure strategy process, and exactly why I was able to achieve success so quickly compared to everybody else. I started out my journey on Instagram and used a lot of Instagram influencers to get a lot of data for Facebook ads before going into Facebook ads. And the main reason I did that was because a lot of my audience was the younger audience and they hung out mostly on Instagram. So again, ask yourself the question, where do the people in my niche hang out, and choose a specific advertising platform according to that. I have a lot of videos on Instagram ads, Facebook ads, Pinterest ads, Google ads, even Reddit ads. So whatever platform that you decide to go on, you can simply come back on my channel and watch the specific videos on that platform. But don't make the rookie mistake of just blindly going into Facebook ads unless you have a lot of money to spend. But the biggest thing you can do after you've chosen that platform is to stay loyal to it for a certain degree. If you were in a relationship, would you go from one partner to the next every single day, or would you rather want to spend a lifetime with one single partner? It's the same exact thing when it comes to advertising platforms. You have to stay loyal to one specific platform, especially if 95% of your audience is on that platform. Nowadays, there are a lot of people just quitting too quickly, just giving up after not getting a sale after their second Facebook ad set. Oh no, I lost $50 on Facebook ads. I don't think Facebook ads is for me. I'm gonna go over to Google ads. You see the kind of problems that are caused due to this just after spending $50. If you're the type of person to switch platform just after spending $50, dropshipping may not be for you. So to prevent any sort of problems from occurring, stay loyal to one platform to a certain degree, and after staying loyal to it for a long period of time, you're still not finding the success that you want, it may be time to move on to the next platform. But don't do platform hopping from one platform to the next too quickly, because you're just going to spend money in the process. But to advertise products on those platforms, you need a strategy to test the products, and my six-figure strategy for testing products is very simple. So the first step in testing the specific products is to actually add several collections to your Shopify store, just so that it doesn't look too empty, and fill it up with products related to each niche. So again, if you're in the fishing niche and you have the categories fishing pole, fishing lure, fishing bait, etc., I would add at least 5 to 10 products in each category before choosing specific products to advertise. And for example, if you're in the baby niche, you could have the sub niches baby boy dresses, and this should rather be baby boy clothes because I'm pretty sure no baby boy wears dresses. But the second sub niche should be baby girl dresses, and then third, baby toys, and so on. And you want to have 5 to 10 products per sub niche just so your website doesn't look too empty. And since you're in a niche store, let's say you're advertising a baby girl dress. A customer comes onto your website, they look at the baby girl dress and they're not really that interested in buying it. But at the top, when they click the menu, they see that you have options for baby toys, and they click on it and they really love a toy. And bam, there you go. They just purchased that baby toy. They came for the baby girl dress but ended up going with the baby toy. So that is why it is super important for niche stores to at least have some products in each sub niche that you have, just so your website doesn't look empty and just to increase your chances of getting sales. But once you have filled up your website, it is now time to choose one specific product to start advertising your brand, to start advertising your store. And when it comes to the specific product selection, I have a very simple metric that I use, and that is choose one product within 0 to 2,000 orders. In my own experience, anything above 2,000 orders is a little bit too saturated, and it may not be the best product to invest your money in. I have several videos on product research if you really want to go in depth in that. The link should have popped up in the top right. Do check that out. But one simple metric I used for this 6-figure dropshipping strategy, and which helped me get to that level within a few months, was just choosing one product which was below 2,000 orders. In fact, my first winning product had only about 40 orders. What really made that product sell was the story I created around that product. So if you want to sell anything in a niche, you want to create a story around the product for the descriptions and the ad copy. And if you combine that one simple strategy with advertising on a platform that suits your business and not just blindly go into Facebook ads, bam, there you go. That is literally all you need to attain 6-figure, 7-figure, even 8-figure level. But before I continue on with the other sections, I want to go ahead and show you one specific niche store which I regularly spy on just because of the branding they have done. And it is the Buddha Power Store. So as you can see, this is in the Buddha niche. But if we go ahead and go onto their website, we can see that this entire store revolves around the Buddha niche. Everything from the coloring to the words they use to the symbols that you use revolves around that niche. And one thing that I really like about this store is that they have a 1-800 number at the top, which adds a lot of trust to their website. But if we scroll through their website, we can see that they have these symbols at the top, which are for customer satisfaction. And then they have these simple collection pages and the specific products right below that. And if we just go on one single product page, we can see that they're selling simple bracelets, nothing too special, but they do about $1 million a month just because all the techniques they have used. If we look at their product page, we can see that it is very, very simple yet very professional. It matches exactly the people in this niche. And the description itself really addresses the issues that someone who's in Buddhism would want to address. So this is a perfect example of a store which applied my 6-figure Shopify dropshipping strategy. And as you can see, this store is doing really, really well. But going back, having all these things is a good point, but you won't have the maximum impact as you normally would without proper use of social media. So when it comes to social media, you want to build your social media pages with organic content and the use of hashtags. On Instagram, hashtags are a really big thing to organically improve your follower amount, and that is exactly how I grew my own Shopify store's Instagram page. I did not buy any followers. All I did was use hashtags, and that really helped me. But if you go back to the Buddha Power Store, we can see the implementation of organic posts. So look at this one right here. As you can see, simple quotes that Buddha himself would have talked about, and they get a lot of likes, comments, and shares, and all of the pages filled with these quotes. So a lot of this is just organic content, but this is perfect in making your customers think that they're not just a number on the screen for you, but someone who you love interacting with and would not have any trouble providing value. Since these people can relate so well to this Buddha Power Store and relate to the posts made by the Buddha Power Store, the Buddha Power Store is consistently in the back of their minds. And because of this, I'm very sure this store has a lot of repeat customers because they do such a good job of organic content. So as mentioned, it is super important to have a good social media presence. Otherwise, people will not trust you. But this was my 6-figure strategy, which helped me personally get to the level where I'm at today. Of course, there were a few things that I changed here and there just so that it matches the strategies that are in effect today and work today. But if you guys did find any type of value in this video, don't forget to smash that like button down below, and I'll see you guys next time.